Let's talk about how to travel across Russia on a budget. You can do it. I've done it, but I hitchhiked across Russia. In some areas, I used the train. The biggest train travel that I did in Russia was the Trans-Siberian train. You can check the link of the Trans-Siberian train travel up here or here. That playlist will give you a perfect insight of what traveling in Russia, Trans-Siberian on what's called Platzkart is like. Platzkart is much cheaper. I covered over 9,000 kilometers from Moscow to Vladivostok for less than $300. I think it was even less than $250. And that's a very long journey. The Trans-Siberian train makes 140 stops. Some places it will stop for an hour, some places it will stop for 40 minutes, but many places it stops for 1 minute. That's when you can see a lot of Russian ladies running with big bags into the train. Some are getting off. Where the train stops for less than 5 minutes, it's not very wise to get off, because if you get off, the train is likely to leave you behind. So it's better if you get off where the train stops for more than 30 minutes. Even 20 minutes is not bad, but where it stops for an hour, that is very good. You can explore the city. There are a few ways for you to travel across Russia on a budget. First, cheapest way is using what's called Marshutka. Marshutka is a minibus that travels from one town to another, but they don't do the longest journey. They don't do the longest trip. So you can take your Marshutka for a much lesser price. And always make sure that you've got a Russian currency, a Russian ruble. Because not many of these towns you can change your dollars or your pounds or your euros into Russian currency of ruble. So it's better if you get your rubles and make sure that you've got enough ruble. You must be asking yourself, how much ruble must I travel across with? To make sure that you don't travel with too much money, I will say have like 5,000 ruble in your pocket until you get to the next city, and then you can go to the ATM and get some more instead of traveling with a lot of cash. If you travel with a wad of cash, you are likely to lose that. But if it's not too much, then you'll be all right. So you use Marshutka. You have to put the emphasis on the letter R, because in Russia, R is pronounced R, R. You know, you have to roll your tongue. I had to practice this a lot. So you say Marshutka. Secondly, you can use buses. Buses are cheaper as well, but they take longer. And they're slightly safer than a Marshutka, but they don't go where the Marshutka goes. And you can use trains. Now with trains in Russia, it's always best if you're traveling on a budget to aim for what's called Platzkart. Platzkart is more sociable, as I will call it. You have the whole carriage, the whole car with 60 people in it. And there's another class as well called Coupe. Coupe, it's only 2 people in the cubicle. Whereas Platzkart is more like 6 people in one square. So you will have 2 beds, a bunk bed, a top bed on this side, and then another 2 beds on this side, top and bottom, and top and bottom, and a table. So the 6 of you are like a community. But you can expand this community for the rest of the people traveling with you in this car. And every car, every carriage, there's what's called a provodnitsa and podnitsa. I might not be pronouncing it properly. If you need blankets, whatever you need, you ask them. They are the ones who will give you a bedding. It could be a man, it could be a woman. So I will say always make friends with your provodnitsa or pavodnitsa. Oh my God, I forgot because I used the train such a long time. Those are the 3 forms of transport that are cheaper. Now let's add the 4th one. The 4th one is called the BlaBlaCar, but in Russia they call it BlaBlaCar. So BlaBlaCar, it's an app. You get an app, you upload it. Let's say when you arrive in Russia, whether at the airport or whatever, just get that BlaBlaCar app. What BlaBlaCar is more like a carpooling. You check for your trip, you check for your destination. Once you find that, you check the review of drivers and their prices, and then you pick one. and then you can order that for the day that you intend to travel. So that will get you directly to where you're going. I used a BlaBlaCar from Moscow to St. Petersburg, and it was brilliant because it took me straight to my destination, picked me up from our meeting point, and you can pay when you get there, and it's always best to pay by cash. Russia, they prefer it when people pay by cash. It's like most of this former Soviet Union, cash is king. So when you use marshutka, buses, and train, remember, marshutka, it's a mini bus. Bus, it's called avtobus in Russian. Train, it's called poyezd. And the station, it's called vokzal. Try to pronounce it like Vauxhall. So you will say marshutka vokzal, avtobus vokzal, poyezd vokzal. Poyezd vokzal, train station. Avtobus vokzal, bus station. Marshutka vokzal, minibus station. These three, try to remember them. Not a lot of people in Russia speak English, and bus drivers, train conductors and drivers, marshutka drivers, even BlaBlaCar, they hardly speak English. I hope this video will help you so that you can try and say something. Just say poyezd vokzal, train station, they say tuda, over there, over there, over there, over there. If you want to say bus station, just say avtobus vokzal, they will say tuda. Nieto means no. So let's go back to traveling Russia by train. If you're traveling Russia by train, I will suggest to you to buy your ticket in advance, minimum 7 days in advance. When you buy your ticket in advance, it will be much cheaper. And it's best to use trains from one big city to another, or one bigger town to another. Because when you get to the big city or the big town, then you know you've got somewhere to stay there. Wake up in the morning and find out where to find the marshutkas. So you can take a marshutka from the big city to the smaller town or to the small village. But small villages in Russia, there is no transport there, so it gets very, very tricky. You must be asking yourself, where to stay in Russia? Russians, they are very active on this app called Couchsurfing. Couchsurfing is an app which you can download and have it on your phone. You can contact many different places where people are offering you somewhere to stay. So they will offer you more like a couch. Some places you get there, they give you a bed. Sometimes they give you a floor and you can use your sleeping mat, or you can book yourself a hostel. Hostels in Russia, they're very, very decent. For a decent hostel, look for 500 ruble upwards. Let's say 500 ruble, 600 ruble, 800 ruble, 1000 ruble, 1500 ruble. Those are better hostels. Traveling in Russia, the kind of hostels that are preferred, a room with 4 bunk beds or maximum 6 bunk beds. The reason why 6 bunk beds is best is because you don't have a lot of people in the room. But traveling during the pandemic has been absolutely brilliant, because whenever I book a hostel, I'm the only one there, there's nobody. So what's the most important thing when you book a hostel? Always check if the hostel got secure storage so that you can lock your stuff in there and go about your business, go and explore the city and town. It's very important for you to find a hostel that has storage facility where you have a key, you can lock it. When I travel, I will get the storage facility and I'll put some of my things in there, but I never leave my laptop, my cameras, my microphones, because that's my life. I will take those with me in my backpack and go wherever I'm going, because I don't want to come back and find that somebody has broken into. I mean, such things don't happen. I'd rather be safe than sorry. For tonight, I'm going to show you this. It's a lovely hostel, as they would call it in Russia, hostel, for 500 ruble. It's got 3 beds, so I guess that will be 500 ruble for each person. But it's quite nice. Look, that's the bathroom. That's the shower there. As you can see, it's very, very clean. So that's the shower. That's my reflection over there. Lovely clean toilet, which I've left opened. That's the main door there, with light for the passage, bedroom, bathroom, and the little storage room. And it's got a little cupboard here, drawers there. Here's another. I think this way you can put your luggage, but mine I'm gonna put it here because I'm the only one. There's a fridge on my right, my stuff there, a little table, and 3 beds there, and a cot as well, and the cupboard to store your stuff. So you can see it's quite impressive. That is impressive for 500 ruble. Oh, unbelievable. 500 ruble is like what? $4? $2? $3? We cannot get that in America. We cannot get that in Canada. We cannot get that in the EU. Wow. If this video helps in any way, please share, like, and consider subscribing. I will see you in the next video.